there, Pokemon trainers and Pokemon masters. What's new, Pikachu? Doing all right, Magnemite? How's stuff, Jigglypuff? Brass tacks, Snorlax? It's time again for another episode of Leaving Pallet Town, a Pokemon podcast. I'm Anthony Curmudgeon, and I'm here to make sure your Poke knowledge is up to snuff. We have a very good episode for you here, one that the team worked quite hard on. We're all pleased over it. But the Pokemon? Unquestionable classics, all three. And I think you're really going to like it. But anyway, enough of me talking nonsense. Let's get to me talking Pokemon. Our first Pokemon is Pidgey. Pidgey is the tiny bird Pokemon who stands at 1 foot tall and weighs an average of 4 pounds. While Pidgey's name might remind you of a pigeon, this Pokemon looks more like a common sparrow. Pidgey is a normal, flying type Pokemon. A defining characteristic of Pidgey is the tuft of feathers at the top of its head. Pidgey also has a short, stubby beak and black markings around its eyes. Pidgey's wings are nearly the same size as its body, and its 2 feet have 3 toes each, 2 toes in front and 1 toe at the heel. Its tail is composed of 3 short feathers. Pidgey is a docile Pokemon, which means it would rather avoid fights than start them, but it's also not afraid to use its beak to protect itself. Pidgey will flap its wings quickly to create dust clouds and sandstorms, which allow it to free from any encounter. It can also flap its wings to create whirlwinds, which is useful for knocking bug-type Pokemon like Caterpie and Weedle out of their hiding places, so that Pidgey can have a little snack. Pidgey is a very common Pokemon and can be seen in areas all around Kanto. It makes its home in forests, mountains, and in meadows. It will evolve into Pidgeotto beginning at level 18, and then evolve into Pidgeot at level 36. Our next Pokemon is the bird Pokemon Pidgeotto. At 3 feet tall and 66 pounds, Pidgeotto is considerably larger than Pidgey. A normal flying type, Pidgeotto now looks similar to a small hawk or a falcon. It has a crest of long red feathers on top of its head, and its tail is now much longer. Pidgeotto's feet have razor-sharp talons at the end of each toe, and unlike Pidgey, Pidgeotto now goes looking for fights. Most Pidgeottos will claim a wide circular territory of more than 60 miles, and they will defend the space fiercely. Its nest is usually in the center of the territory, and Pidgeotto will fly on patrols throughout the day, looking for food and intruders. Pidgeotto's favorite food is Magikarp, and it has been observed snatching Magikarp out of the air when the fish jumps out of the water. Pidgeotto is such a strong flyer that it has no problem flying back to its nest with heavy prey in its talons. This brings us to our third and final Pokemon of the episode. I'm sure you already know by now that this Pokemon is... That's right, Pidgeot. The bird Pokemon Pidgeot is the final form of Pidgey. At nearly 5 feet tall and 89 pounds, it is no longer tiny at all. The crest of feathers on its head runs the length of Pidgeot's entire body, and its tail is a broad fan of long feathers. Pidgeot now has 3 toes on the front of each foot and 1 toe on its heel. Its claws are longer and sharper. Pidgeot's feathers are glossy, and it is revered throughout Kanto as one of the most beautiful Pokemon. Pidgeot is also exceptionally brave. It will never turn its back on a foe, and it can strike fear into its opponents simply by spreading its great wings to their full size. Pidgeot is highly skilled at flight, capable of carrying a trainer on its back for very long distances. And its wings are so powerful that it can cause a windstorm with a single flap.
Its strong wings and sharp claws allow Pidgeot to use attacks like Hurricane and Razor Wind. By the time it reaches its final evolution, Pidgeot is a very powerful Pokemon and rewards any trainer who invests the time and care to raise Pidgey from very low levels. And check this out. Pidgeys are known to have an incredible sense of direction and homing instinct. That means they can always find their way back home, no matter how far away they've traveled. Some towns are known to use Pidgeys for sending messages back and forth. What, they've never heard of email? This episode is sponsored by Pokémon. Want to spend your hard-earned money on 17 escape ropes and 1 ether? Well, who wouldn't? Luckily, at Pokémon, we've got all of the things that a trainer might buy and then forget to use. Burn heals? We got 'em. Max repels? We got 'em. We even have other stuff too. Trust us, we're Pokémon. It's time for type versus type matchup, and we're talking about normal type versus electric type Pokemon. This might shock you, but neither of these types has the competitive edge against the other. If you're battling a trainer who specializes in electric type Pokemon, it might be smart to use a normal type Pokemon like Pidgey. And listen to this. Scientists have discovered that a Pidgeotto's vision is so powerful, no matter how high it's flying, it can make out the movements of people and Pokemon on the ground as clearly as if it were on the ground next to them. If this is true, I might need to rethink my idea of wearable binoculars for bird Pokemon. It's another location profile. We're talking about Cerulean Cave, a mysterious cave that's filled with terribly tough Pokemon. Located in a corner of Cerulean City, this cave is so dangerous that the Pokemon League is in charge of it. In fact, only trainers who've defeated the Elite Four are able to enter this cave. I wonder what they're hiding in there. Have you ever been inside of Cerulean Cave? I have not. And here's something else. Pidgeot's wings are so powerful that it's capable of flying faster than the speed of sound. That means that by the time you think you've heard a Pidgeot, it's probably already flown past you. But if a trainer is flying on a Pidgeot going that fast, well, how do they keep their hat on their head? Look out, it's another trainer spotlight. Here comes a Pokemaniac. These trainers love Pokemon so much, you might even see them wearing Pokemon costumes into battle. They like to use more obscure Pokemon, like Slowpoke or Lickitung. There's no telling where you'll encounter a Pokemaniac, but it's always an interesting challenge. Have you ever battled a Pokemaniac? Before we go, I have a question here from a trainer named Dartax. They ask, who would win in a battle between Professor Oak and the Elite Four? And while that's a very good question, I have to say that a 4-on-1 battle doesn't sound particularly fair. I don't even think the Pokemon League would allow it. Thanks for your question all the same, Dartax. As always, thanks to all listeners who've taken the time to send in a message or a question. I do my best to respond, even if it's not right away. Do you have a question or a thought? Send an email or have a parent send an email to leavingpallettown@protonmail.com. That's leavingpallettown@protonmail.com. And as a reminder, there are only 2 L's and 1 T in palette. If you're ever unsure, it's right there in our title. Thanks for thinking of us, and we look forward to hearing from you. And there you have it. A little this, a bit of that, some fun for good measure. We even learned a thing or two. At least, I think we did. And that's the end of another episode of Leaving Pallet Town, a Pokemon podcast. I think it could be our best one yet, but who can say? I hope you enjoyed it, and now you're one step closer to being a Pokemon master.
Until next time, keep it Geodudes. Stay tentacool. Take it slow, bro. I'm Anthony Curmudgeon. Thank you for listening, and we'll catch you later.